Okay. So we continue to look on Baen, going on to the next chapter, which is on alms round, training in Pindabata. This first is called Right Livelihood. The Lord Buddha taught about Ajiva Parisutti Sila, which is, say, virtue around purity of livelihood. How to seek food for maintaining life according to the way of purity. He pointed to the alms round as being a search for food which is true and proper right livelihood for renunciates. The Lord Buddha himself maintained a Pindabata observance. And there's a footnote on that. That's just explaining what Pindabata is, which is alms round. Thus setting a standard for right livelihood. He maintained himself in a way that set the example for future generations. The Savaka Arahants maintained the Pindabata observance themselves, thus further acting as a model of right livelihood. They spoke highly of food that is properly received on alms round, saying it is pure. Ajiva Parisutti Sila refers to maintaining ourselves by way of the Pindabata observance and thus acting as a model of right livelihood. This is the correct way to maintain the body according to the path of purity and the way of righteousness. There's a very beautiful story of the Buddha going back to Kapilavatthu, his first time, Kapilavatthu being his home city where the King Suddhodana lived, his father. And when he arrived, nobody made an invitation. He arrived in the afternoon. Nobody made an invitation for him to have the meal. So the Buddha and whoever was with him went on alms round the next morning. And the king comes out, hears about it. What are you doing, disgracing me? Going on alms round. And the Buddha is sort of saying that's in his lineage, the noble lineage of being a renunciate. This is the way of living one's life. So it's a very beautiful, beautiful story. Next one, how to wear the robes during alms round. When going alms round, one should wear the lower robe and put on the upper robe with the Sangati as another layer outside, which is correct according to the principles of the Vinaya. Also, the Kruba Ajahns led others to undertake this practice of wearing all three robes, holding that it's in line with Dhamma Vinaya. These days I feel that there's not so much interest in this wearing of the Sangati as another layer outside. Not to wear it is not correct according to the principles of Dhamma and Vinaya. We have grown extremely lax in following this observance. The way of true principle and the way of negligence. How can these two ways lead to the same result? If they give the same results, then true principle has no meaning. And there is nothing important about the dispensation of the Lord Buddha. This dispensation of the Lord Buddha is so important that nothing else comes close to being comparable to it. It is essential for us to show respect here. Don't hold that this three-robe practice is just a small, trifling thing. Small and trifling things can lead to blindness, you know. If a snake bites you, just a tiny amount of venom can lead to death.